Alright guys, welcome back. Here, what I'm going to start with, I'm just going to debone this turkey. I'm going to cut down the breastbone. You can start from the back or the breast. We're going to cut the wings off just because there's going to be no meat there. Once we debone this turkey there, it's going to be usable. So we're going to cut down both sides of the breast. Work our way real slowly with just our knife tip all the way to the bottom. And this was the first time I'd done this on a turkey. I've done chicken before and other things, so you just want to work your way down. Here we're cutting through the thigh, or I say the thigh bone, the wing bone, and so cut through just cut that joint, and then just slowly use your knife tip, making small cuts up. Mainly keeping the tip of your knife into the body of the bird. You want to keep from trying to cut through the skin as much as possible. And this may take you a little bit if it's your first time. Just small cuts and take your time. And so here we're going to remove the carcass, and then we're going to start on the wing bone. A good sharp knife helps, but the wing bone, we're just going to cut around it best you can, get most of the meat off there, and then we're going to just pull it through. And to repeat the same thing on the other side. And then here we're going through the thigh, and so find that thigh bone and then just cut down to the bone, and then just slowly start cutting around it and underneath it. And it'll, once you get it kind of cut loose, you can pull it and then find the joint there on the drumstick and cut it loose. And then we're going to cut the drumstick right down the center, and then just start on either side of the drum bone there and start cutting it loose. And then your drumstick is going to have these little tendons inside it, and they're going to be hard as a rock, and you have to pull those out. So we use a pair of needle nose here to remove all of those. And then either side we're going to cut loose the little tenders, the little turkey tenders there, and lay them in the center just so the whole thing is about the same thickness. And we're going to butterfly the breast a little bit so they'll flatten out so it'll cook evenly. And in here we're going to start with our butter that's going to go underneath the skin of the turkey. So we started with some garlic and herb butter along with some regular butter, and we do the juice of 1 lemon.
Whenever I was going to work.
And then we're going to use I think 2 sprigs of rosemary, and we're going to use a good bit of, this would be either probably sage or some type of herb that we've got growing outside. And we're just going to strip this rosemary down and chop it up as well.
Hey, I hope our waffles are so delicious tonight.
Where's my pancake?
That's what cake.
And so we're going to combine all that together in a big bowl, and we're going to use a little bit of pureed garlic. You can buy this at Publix, but no set amount. We just kind of guess. This is just, like I said, going under the skin. So we're going to work all that together. Use your hand, use a whisk, whatever you need to, and then we're going to pat our turkey dry, because the longer it sat there, it just kind of started creating a bunch of juice. So we're going to pat it dry, get it best we can, and then use our fingers to kind of work the skin loose at different places. And once you get a few spots, you can start adding the butter, and then use your fingers to kind of squeeze it and push it throughout the bird. It'll kind of, once you get it started, you can kind of squeeze it and push it and massage it, and you want to work that all over the inside of the bird and the outside the best you can until you use all the butter up. And like I said, this is just kind of more or less like a little rub, or just a little additive. So there's no really set ingredient list for this. Just kind of do what you feel is best. And the butter will help keep it good and moist. as it cooks, keep it from drying out. And so here we're going to start with making the stuffing that we're going to stuff this bird with. And so what I don't show is we've already got some celery cut up, 2 or 3 sticks of celery. We cut up an onion, and here we're smashing about 3 cloves of garlic. And we're going to cook all this, sweat it down and cook it on a stove. I'm just going to get it all chopped up. I'm going to mince your garlic pretty fine. And here we're going to sweat down I think it's probably 2 or 3 celery sticks, and then looks like probably 2 onions, or an onion and a half. And to that we're going to add some Italian sausage. We're just going to we're going to brown all that sausage up, and then eventually just mix all the onion and everything together. And to that I'm going to add my garlic. I'm going to add it towards the end so it doesn't burn and scorch. You just kind of want it to start to get a little bit of aroma, start smelling. And we're going to add just a little bit of white wine cooking, just for a little bit of juice and deglazing liquid. And into the breadcrumbs, we're going to add an egg, and then add all of our sausage, onions, and celery. And this is going to make a lot of stuffing. I probably don't have to use all of it. So then again, this is also, I forgot to that, we're going to add some chicken broth. I think that was probably close to a cup or so. And we're going to mix it all together just till the breadcrumbs can soften up. And so this is a lot of stuffing for this bird. I probably don't have to, shouldn't have used all of it, but I did. So I just couldn't bring it to myself to throw any away. And it kind of, when I first did it, man, this thing looks ugly when you start to rolling it and you got stuffings poking out. But you just kind of have to start trying to manage and bring things together. And once you start to tie it up, and it all kinds of comes together. And you can see I've got stuffing coming out of different holes and things. And so here we're just using a butcher's knot or some butcher's twine to tie it up. And then looking back, watching the video, I should have started and at either end and tied the ends up. That way maybe I wouldn't have as much stuffing squish out, because I started at one end and worked my way all the way across the bird. So I had a lot of stuffing when I got to the end that tried to squish out. And so we're just gonna go through this bird and tie it up. We try to section it off in larger sections to start with, and then we'll go back and tie it off a little bit smaller sections, if that makes sense. And you can kind of see right here where we're getting towards the end there that most of my stuffing kind of comes out, but it's still not a lost cause. There's still a lot of we still was able to salvage a lot of that stuffing. There was still enough left in the bird that wasn't a big deal. It just doesn't look the best, but for the first time, there's a lot of things we could do different. But it turned out pretty good. And so you typically want to do this that way. You want to roll and tie your bird, and that way everything will cook as even as possible. You kind of draw it up to be more of a solid piece, and you can cook it in your oven, and cook it like you would maybe a solid piece of roast or a ham or a whole turkey, because everything is together, and so it'll cook more evenly. Versus if you just have it out flat, you got varying thicknesses, and so it's hard to get everything done at the same time. So doing it like this, it's just a little more presentable, and you can slice it when you get done, and plus I think it looks cool. It's not your typical Thanksgiving turkey. And here we're just gonna tie those wings back on just so they're there, and we cook those with the bird. You could use those to make your giblet gravy or make a stock or something. But so here's our finished bird. I don't remember the time we cooked on this. I think I can't remember the exact time, but we did rub it down with oil, with olive oil, and then we covered the breast in the top part with bacon, just to help keep it from burning and help with keep it moist. So I've already removed the bacon. We just laid it on top there. I think you can see some on the little white plate. We removed the bacon, and here I'm just going to remove some of that butcher's twine before I start slicing it. And the lower half will be more dark meat, and then the top half is going to be more white meat. So you still get your white meat and dark meat fans. You just don't have to worry about carving any bones, because we've done that when we deboned it. This is all boneless, just a solid piece of turkey with some stuffing. And it's super moist. You don't have any, this meat was not dry at all. And it just looks sweet on the plate. So you have you have a little bit of white meat there, mostly dark meat, and you have your stuffing. And so hopefully this encourages you maybe to step out of the box, try something you've not tried before. We had Thanksgiving at our house this year, and we were going to cook the turkey, and I didn't want to just cook just a plain old traditional dry turkey that we eat every year. And so I just kind of I don't know really where I got the idea from, but just used several different recipes and combined them all into one.
I don't know how long it's been resting, but it's still hot.
Hopefully this maybe, like I said, help you step out of the box and try something new, whether it's cooking or whatever. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.